Oh. At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. Sugar's Repair Services will satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take five, you're in the zone. Voices come, what's the care? Two good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your head. Peace and hope you're sure to find. I'll take CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take a breath, take your time. We're here to be your mind. Take five, you're not alone. See, they and Esther bring you home. It's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health, it matters most. So come in close and raise a toast to the ones who fight each day. To the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. We got your back, you got our word. Transition, oh take, CJ Jester. Talking truth and stand pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon. Holding space just for. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning to another program or Take Five program.
Especially, Mr. A special good morning to all the listeners and viewers of this Take 5 program for Tuesday being the 22nd of July 2025. It's a pleasure to be in your company once again alongside Roy Charles in place of CJ. CJ is out there. She's truly falling, I must say.
So, so, as we normally do, we give a little rundown on what happened for the past week and
And we expect our calling from Kenner as well to this. So, Kenner, if you're listening, we believe in acknowledging the presence of the Almighty for things to go well. And we expect for Kenner to call in and to lead us in that regard. But in the meantime, so maybe we can go ahead doing the shout outs. I know you have a long list. I'm seeing a list that usually has been done. So
we want to say good morning to Marlon Klein, Pitlin Harley Douglas, Coffee in the Morning, Daphne Date and family, the Hill Street family, the Glynn family, Ola Vachi, Lorna Bain in Toronto, Mary in Toronto, Junior, Alvin Harris, the Duchess, Donna Sandy, Mr. Snag, Marlon Klein, Ken Rowe, Mona, Bandy, Pat Pierre, William, Buddy, SBW, Kathleen Ledlow, Joycelyn Noel. Good morning. Good morning to you. We have Bushies and Chubby. William Broadcast 107.5 FM. Good morning to you. Are you finished? Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Okay, I hear make mention of wishes. As if you can time you've been recognized. Winter John. So you have a call. I might just became a calling.
Good morning.
Good morning, and
We're good, thanks.
Good morning to you, brother.
good morning, Jester, and how are you?
I'm fine. Good to hear you.
Okay, well, on this is ready for me.
Sit over here, I didn't hear you.
Ready for me?
Yes, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. This morning, Lord, I give you thanks to you this morning. But I was very holy to be here this morning. I will pray with Father, I go, Lord, and I like every time I will pick up God and I to fight. Once you go from the one, I will go to take the truth and I don't see you in the Christ. You let a lot of people upset me. Today, that's how we could take much. But I think the whole world is in one this morning. Lord, in the each and every one of us is our Lord. You will experience what Father says, African comforters, you have to put a writing fast and I'm feeling each and every hour. You bought me about this, I think most people shall be slower. I bring the 10 minutes before you this morning, blessed Lord. Father God, you knows everything about the from the soul of the person. Remember, I mean, as I just comfort, let that let all that let fire that you have in the tree. God help you. It can so allow remember the effects, remember the around you. Master, the traffic, those who should be. And I think you to love us to unite to understand it all along. The chicken affliction one doesn't have to tell them. Rahim at al-Mahdi, you say the Christ for night, our night, the Christ for day. That's why you caught in this man, Lord, and give everyone a sit down below the power to the service. My God and my Redeemer, look down upon each and every one of these youth, our Lord. My God, in such a thing, remember each and every one of them, children, to love at me. But that is about the student, nothing else. Being in the midst of them, bring them so we have to get to this our Lord. Right, allow to God and more than children, this our Lord. We can't still be living them like this our Master. Oh, God, and our Father, bring that radio station, this to this our Lord. Remember, I said, everyone, them, in the Lord. We can bring them one by one, but we have to take them. Remember, this, remember, that our Lord. Only can be time. What a phone says that we guide you my case that we will. May God Almighty remember if you look at every story. Every job study for our Lord, remember the youth in them our master. My God Almighty, do not take them get out of the church. Give them the solution and the form. Give them the solution. That's like this morning. Remember the how do we how to change the our life that I'm doing now? That's what I'm trying to share about you just think to learn how to learn how to learn how to do this it's just the next lecture that we have to position to try. We will find this the big one to take the those things on the phone to do. Well, it's happening to do. So, hello.
Amen.
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 Oh, you know,
I'm good, fellow. And what about you?
well, I can't complain. Thank God I'm alive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
We still have the most precious gift, the gift of life.
of course, yes.
All right.
Never like what people that be alive, but she can't tell what people do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Colonel, we just want to thank you so much for calling in and leading us in that word of prayer so that we can get things on a good footing. Yeah? That is, it is very, very imperative that we do take this course of action. Yeah. And thank you so much again.
Bye.
So, you have a lovely day.
Okay, bye. Okay.
So, I was continuing to give out my shout out stuff. Alistair, I took Dubois. Yeah, I saw him in GE in Jamaica by the poolside. I tell you this technology. Then he bring the put it up on Facebook. It's because that one the world. So I'm gonna afford to say that. I thought you been that bitch been private with an old lot of I thought you went to Jamaica over the weekend. Oh, no, no. On Facebook led me into Jamaica. So yeah, probably you know. So West, yeah, the Bloom family out there in Boston. Yeah, the Hill Street people and that Robinson family out there. Yeah, wonderful family. Yeah. So, but I have closer ties with the men of the family. Yeah, must say that. I always have to say that. Yeah. So, how was the weekend, girl? Just a quiet one. I wasn't feeling too well, cold. Yeah. Yeah. Just trying to get over it. Cold, so resistance is low. That's what they usually say. Okay. That's what they usually say when somebody comes down with the flu. But I think there's opportunities for the body to purge itself naturally too. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's what happened. Yeah. As for me, it's been hectic and because I am involved in judging the Calypso preliminaries, which started off on Friday. So Friday, I was at Happy here. The Northwest Brigade was judged there. And then Saturday, we judged Kaiso by the Deluxe Cinema. Then on Sunday, we went to Commerce RC School to judge um, Kaiso Kingdom. And then we are back in the Deluxe last night. That's judge the other part of the temple, um, Thomas Rod Fireworks. Yeah. And tonight is the final night, so we're judging Richmond Kelly and them. Yeah. So and that will be at GBSS. And it will be a longer night still because in the final night now we all have to go and tabulate. So to dispose together. So people will know who makes it to the final because this weekend coming up is the semi-final weekend. From Thursday we have the Groovy, Friday Pause will come on that. Saturday is traditional mass. It's a really nice in Victoria, but we also have the back and also have the junior sofa that progress back. And then on Sunday is the Melody Papi Tips Calypso semi-finals. So the team is heating up, your Spice Mass. So we have a few returning nationals already on island. But we have a very unfortunate incident. Before you jump into that, I must say, I listened to one Calypso and it was, I think he was very, very interesting from Charles. Charles, that's his name. Somebody is his son. He's a police officer. I must say this, that, this, I thought it was, wow. It was really interesting. There are two of them, but there are a few police. Three I know for sure. So Prince, like a Prince is a police officer, then that person we're talking about. And there was the next one. Yeah, there was one that had a song that he's selling the wood now. Well, that's what we call the satire. He's like, so it's like, wow. Like, next one. And then this thing is like, so the next one, someone, it was based on a doctor. The name of the doctor is Dick, right? So, we must say that throughout all that the artists are very creative. Well, they have to. They are very creative. Yeah. And it's like it just make
from all what's going on, like kind of just shift with
Yeah.
the mood and something you listen to it and you just have to laugh, something to smile about. Sometimes you might be with all going you will be going through.
This is why the artists they have to be creative because let me tell you why. One of the criteria of the judging aspect is called originality.
Mhm.
So the more you come with something that is new,
Right.
and it's of a new concept, it will be better for you to score um, highly along that line. So yeah. So there are already some good calypsos this year, really, and there are some good calypsos.
Yeah.
Among them you will find those that is, a little lower down the treaders of the ladder. But generally speaking, there are some really good calypsos this year. Serious.
Good morning to Joycelyn Noel and Chance the Gamer. Lorna Bain, good morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining in.
I don't tell me Joyce Joyce. Joyce, I'm very public. I'm carrying out. Yeah, I only make fun of Joyce. Here.
At least you're sorry. It puts you in check. You were speaking about the unfortunate incident over the weekend.
Yes, I heard of the shooting incident on Wall Street over the weekend.
I saw a video this morning.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's a video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just a little snippet of it. It's all there.
And they said the guy that got
and there was
the
a
shot, he was like, it was a straight bullet. That's what the news, that's what I gather from the news.
But based on what I saw in the video, it looked intentional.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would look like it was for him.
Wow.
Based on the video I saw this morning.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. You have seen something, so you probably could make a better assessment of the whole thing.
Yeah, based on what I saw in the video. Yeah.
But I just saying it is unfortunate, especially where we are getting into the heat of the festive season. It's just so unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate. And the violence, I even saw one man was making a cry to the young people about the activity they were having in Falls.
Yeah.
Another group, I think, they had some issue with some other guys, and based on activity they were planning to meet in Falls on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the guy, older guy I think he said he went to a barber shop or so, and he was urging, persons not to go to the venue because, to.
So what's they planning to meet? What, to settle differences?
Yeah, at the events.
Yeah?
Yeah. So.
The police really would have to work for them for this carnival season.
Yeah, we have a lot to do.
We need to cut the violence. And it wasn't too long ago. I remember that police officer took the initiative to have this walk, all for the awareness of.
I think that's something we should continue, before Carnival, have a community walkthrough. There's enough police enough police officers out there. I think that is something they could really do, before the Carnival activity, before Carnival launch anyway. Do a community walkthrough. Let the people know what you're expecting from them. Because we have the eyes when Carnival time around, all eyes is on Grenada. So I think that is something the authorities could work on.
And I heard one of the lawyers spoke in the interview and he was talking about one of the reasons why some of the youths get themselves involved in this violent acts as a matter of the state of poverty and the economic situation. Well, I really don't buy into it in such a way because let me tell you why. First of all, to own a pistol, it's a lot of money. It's hundreds, if not thousands of dollars are involved, hundreds of dollars. So if you're in a state of poverty, why would, first of all, you would want to take such huge sum of money to go and invest, to go and purchase that one? I won't say invest because.
So then that means that poverty and purchasing a illegal firearm is not issue. The thing is, I think for you to have a, I think that would be long. Probably, I think it's easier than, you get it per AM, it's made available to you, and you have to make a pact or a oath to loyalty to a particular person or group. Or I think it's so easy.
Bad intention is always bad intention, right? And I would like to stick with parents in the upbringing of your children. It has a lot to do with it. I mean, as they usually say to you, make children, you don't make their mind. One or two of them, even if you try your very best, one or two of them may deviate, you know. But I believe it starts with the upbringing of your children, you know. The they in turn will make up society. And to me, I believe that is absolutely critical. Yeah. The message of love and, you know, the level of spirituality, we tend to kind of lose that a bit, you know. I don't know what's happening in the school system these days in terms of the religious aspects of things on a daily basis. I don't know if they get the same proportion like when I was growing up, you know, and that helped conquer quite a lot, you know, keeping youths in checks. And you may have a little bit of and then used to be just some, you may fist it off a little bit, and then not too long ago, we're all back as friends again. But, you know, the minutes are there are some difference, somebody might just be difference in opinion. Yeah. And it leading to this violent acts, you know, in such a heinous way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So yes, so we're going to dive into our topic today. Yeah,
very interesting one. Very, very interesting topic. Our topic today is starting over and how it affects your mental health. Starting over and how it affects your mental health.
Well, I think there's a group that have a song, starting all over again. It's gonna be, yeah, I remember that song, you know. I can't remember that song. Yeah.
So let us just take a quick commercial break, and we'll dive right into the program for today. Starting over and how it affects your mental health.
Manual machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418.
For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look further. Smart Buy SA Belfast and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, Hotel St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Bar. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
So welcome back to our listeners and viewers of this favorite show, the mental health show, Take 5. So we are ready to get into the meat of the matter, and we are doing starting over and how it affects you mentally. So let me just start off and say it's very difficult to do something. So actually, you did it. That's done. And for whatever reason, whether it's been dismantled and you have to go and do it all over again. So what immediately comes to mind, something they call double work. It's something for people to start doing something, and maybe somebody you might be 95% completing that, and then you probably get some other directive. Well, it's not so that that's my debt. So I know what it is like, what it feels like. The mental strain that when you do something or you do something and you have to go and redo it all over it. That it's obvious it will be a big strain. So I understand.
Starting over.
And the thing about it, I will add to, like, if you have to do something over and it involves a new dimension, where you add into the interest, or you know what I mean?
So what you already have.
Yes, then it's okay because you bring some form of excitement, some form of encouragement, some form of satisfaction. So that I can understand just the same. But if it's just to do over something you did just the same way,
With a lot, yeah.
so let's get into it.
So, based on research, starting over can be both exciting and daunting.
Yeah, it's not quite.
And it can significantly impact your mental well-being. While it offers a chance for renewal and positive change, it can also trigger the feeling of anxiety, uncertainty, and even grief for what was lost. The key to navigating this process successfully lies in acknowledging these emotions, developing coping mechanisms, and focusing on building a new, fulfilling life. Starting over isn't easy. Humans are hardwired to seek comfort and familiarity, while fearing the unknown. So if you're starting over after going through a major change in life, it's only natural to feel overwhelmed, stuck, and unsure of what to do next. We explore the common challenges people face when starting over, along with tips to help you break through the overwhelm and move forward.
So that's a broad topic, but to me, I I I get the impression that it's in relation to people, right? Maybe even take the form of relationship. Yeah. And I get the impression from what has just been read. Maybe that's why some people maybe have a bad experience in a relationship or that you find that they don't want to go and start over something.
Because they get comfortable. They get comfortable.
So as we go deep, we see why starting over is so hard. So they're giving us the reasons. Let's go.
So the process of starting over is about more than making some changes or adjustments to your life. If you've gone through major life events such as a relationship breakdown,
I know that's what he was talking about.
serious illness, or moving back from living overseas, you may feel like you need to create a new beginning. But this involves letting go of the past as well as reinventing parts of your life. And it's why you can't be left feeling overwhelmed and unsure. So some of the reason why you might be struggling to start over can include.
So let's hold it there, and they make mention earlier on there, just moments ago, of letting go of the past. And it's simple to say that, well, let's be realistic. We all are humans. Based on what you've been through, it is not as easy as it is stated in letting go of the past. Because when you know what you have experienced in the past, yeah,
People look like a wall. There's a barrier.
um, boy, you want to give something as a try, so
right.
somebody has a chance. You want to take that chance. But based on what you've been through, it could be, it sometimes deters you
From taking that
from wanting to take that chance or to go in it wholeheartedly. You want, a lot of times people would have certain reservations.
We have a call. Let's take that call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to all you Take Five people. This is CJ calling in from TO.
Good
Enjoying the
morning.
weather here. Believe me when I tell you, it started getting a bit cold already, and I'm sort of, wondering if I came back too soon. So we're talking about starting over this morning, and Jester was talking about it's not easy to start all over again. That is quite true because especially when you're thinking about moving into another country and having to start over all over again. And when you talk about the relationship thing, well, the say party with the drum on that one. Because everyone that go through a relationship and then the relationship goes south, it is not something to start over and go to someone new and thing because you're telling yourself you might end up in the same situation as you were before. So you make the decision to fly solo. And let me tell you, flying solo has great perks. There's no one to tell you what to cook, what to wear, where to go, anything. You're just doing whatever you want, how you want, when you want. And I think that is the best that anybody can do. So, although it might be a bit tough, but then you have to really think about, do I want to do this again? Do I want to do that again? Or just be who you want to be, enjoy your Zen moment, do what you feel like, and just enjoy life one day at a time with no pressure at all. You just do what makes you feel good about you. Thank you very much for the time and good morning to all for checking on the live and we're there. Taking it easy. Bye.
Sure, so the day was over. And we'll start over.
Bye, Paula. Thanks for your contribution.
No, not until I read it before we start over. You have
What when I start over,
when you start this up.
which one is it? When I'm ready to start over?
Yeah.
Well, how did you know I didn't start over? Start over. I
You
moved
gotta go.
out to Toronto, didn't you know?
Over back to the number six.
This is the starting over.
You go, how much do you use? Oh, yes, just having some fun there.
Just as we were going through the major events, I think we should kind of sectionalize the events. Let us look a little bit on like relationship.
Okay, so
Move on and talk. Right. Starting over based on relationship breakdown. So you've been in a relationship for over 15 years with that one particular person. Things start to go south, things are working out. You invest in, you build, you have house together, you have land together, you have um, business investments and so forth. That is a really, really, really hard place to really start with.
And those men understand most of the losses when this disputes and then come along. You know that?
I don't agree. Legally, okay, if you're looking at marriages and stuff, on that level, we'll say that's like 75% it happens on that.
But even the common law relationship these days,
just that the men
women have the right and benefits from it.
just I don't think so.
No. Serious.
I think the mindset of men and in a relationship at 15 like a normal years relationship like that, the men they don't want to give up. And it's hard for them to start over. It's most difficult for a man to start over than a woman in a relationship. It is most difficult for a man to start over than a woman to make a decision to start over. Because when a woman makes a decision to start over, she will just get up and say, you know what? I'm starting over. Okay? She think right through before she finally comes to that decision. So normally a woman would have a plan B, a backup, to say, well, if that don't work out, let me you know what? I would leave and I want to rent or whatever. But with a man, when you know you start over, you got nothing in place because you don't not planning, not thinking about starting over.
But based on, you see, the thing is, and that might be true, because in our economic situation, most of the time, you finish school, start working. By the time you work to achieve what you have to achieve, based on the age that creep up on you already, It's not that easy to say you're going to start one based on what you invest in, and then you're having to lose it. No, that is not that easy, you know. It's not that easy. And you know, for economic situation here in Grenada, you understand? It's not, it wouldn't be all that easy. And then, as far as I'm concerned, the laws, most of the time, women come on sometimes 5 times a week on this whole thing. Serious. Especially if they have a child in the relationship again or in the marriage, and this separation come out, this divorce, the man,
But okay,
man having to suck salt.
so then
And you know that.
in a marriage type relationship, it's most likely that a woman will come out with property and so forth and so on. But in a common law relationship, the results doesn't end well.
So you find the man, what are you trying to advise here for?
I'm not advising. No, I'm just saying. I'm just going based on observation and based on observation and my opinion, because in most common law relationship, when a relationship ends, it normally ends with violence.
Well, end with violence, if it happening in a common law, and it could happen in a marriage one as well too, you know. It could happen anyhow. But I'm telling you serious, like there are benefits for the woman in a common law relationship. I'm telling you, this law was passed. I remember that it was under Francis Alexander. Even like that way you have the one that come in like a child is a child. And I know of people, women that benefit from a relationship and they were not married.
But it's a comment here. A caller is saying that was my worst mistake. Investing, hey, never me again.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, it's relationships. To me, it's like you know when sometimes when people when you see soil is being grown, it's not they don't necessarily go and like plant it in already. Sometimes they just throw the seed. Some will come, some come, some go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it happening sometimes. Like planting peas again, some do burst out, some don't. You know, and sometimes I listen that because I've seen people that married for 30 years, 40 years, and still come and separate or divorce. Somebody has to, and most time we will on the side because. Sorry? You follow me? What? You have to call on the next phone, please. What's next? Yeah. So I was making a point. Yeah. And you could probably find out for yourself. There are benefits for women in common law relationship. Yeah. I know that for a fact. So it's not just a man being with a woman for how many years and then if you just treat her in any old way. Once she decides to take certain action, she stands to benefit from that relationship that she was in with that man.
I understand, but I was just saying based on the majority of cases.
Sure. I come back to your point, you know, you were saying that usually women will have a backup plan, but men, they just rely on that in that only way. And they don't think they have no other plan B to back up the plan A they have if plan A doesn't work. Is that what you're saying, Nisha?
Yeah. So it's like they're kind of, it's like they're caught off guard.
Or maybe the best way that might work for management to stay. You know, do we have a call?
Yes, we do.
Yes, correct.
That call. Hello?
Um, Even though you're saying just women have backup plan, there are men with bigger backup plan
Not
than
me, I see
women.
that, right? I said,
No, I said about plan B. Plan B.
well, we had a
Plan B is different. Plan B is different to backup plan.
but she had no back, you know. No, it wasn't me.
No, you all have people always have to have a plan B, regardless of what it is, whether it's finance or marriage or relationship. You always have to have a plan B because you cannot just go into anything with just one, with like put all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes when you invest in, you don't not just invest in one thing. You invest all over the place. So if one of your investments fail, you have something else to rely on. So this is plan B. Your backup plan is something totally different. And you're saying that men don't have backup plan. That is not true. I've been reading something the other day where a woman, she invests her whole life into that relationship that she had with her boyfriend or and it's her husband. And when he made it big, he made her do a prenuptial thing where she would not get anything at all from him. So that was his backup plan, not to give her anything. They went to the court, but the funny thing about it, he did not put it in the registry. So you know what? She got everything from him with his backup plan failed. So even though you said about women have backup plan, men have bigger backup plan than especially when they are making it big into in society. Do you know of a lot of women that are in a relationship that have married and the husband controls everything, what they wear, what they eat, how they move, and everything. That's the backup plan to keep you down so that you will never make it to reach their level. So when you're talking about backup plan, Jester, be careful how you're using backup plan. We have plan B. Women have plan B, men have backup plan.
What do you think? I don't understand this. What a woman,
I don't
when goes Raya, a woman, she was the one that shut all this.
Well, if you when the last one that says this is the one that go for it, you know. You know when you're in sport, if somebody hits you, you that hit back the person, you're the referee throwing out. So you're the last person I will talk about the backup plan. But I mean the topic is really, really interesting this morning because you see when you're starting over, you have to, I just say, go into the past, forget about the past and move into the future. But at the same time, you have to know what you went through in the past so that you can make the changes to do well into the future. I'll call back just now again. Good morning, Joycelyn. And I see Joycelyn said that she make the mistake of investing. Joycelyn, it depends on what you invest and who you invest into. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
I have no guarantee as to how a relationship will end. Really and truly,
Just like we do the right thing. And I mean, if we're on the same page, I don't think that should warrant an end.
well, the thing about the Raya,
And what just happened though?
so I'm saying that sometimes simple things, in some instances, you know, remember a man using a man for a dumpling, you know. You know, understand? So sometimes simple things that, you know, could have been resolved because of the arrogance or the temperament of the person, you know. He just go here and that's it. That's it. Come over a marriage for years. Marriage would have been maybe for about, to be honest, maybe about 20 years, 25 years. They had children, and then it so happened that the wife happened to just find out about something, and the way she handled the situation, you know, the man felt that he was being disrespected and, you know, publicly. And that was it. That was it. It ended up, and when these things and them happen, trust me, there will usually be a lot of hurt, various ways. We're talking about the children involved. By the time they had children of different ages, and so you had a last year that was pretty young.
Right.
Then you have You come that the bank, they come back and repossess property, and it's never easy, you know. And maybe something that could have been resolved simply but because of the emotions in which the women
ego. They have ego too. So some the same on the women part, but sometimes on the man part too is pride and ego. Is like and he high house you want to solve the issue.
Yeah, but let's say from a general standpoint, you know that women tend to talk more, you know, with hearing of situation than a man. A man will approach something much calmer than what a woman will tend to when he hears certain things. Generally speaking. I know you do someone with calm. I can try to do professor.
So let us look at going through or coming out from a serious illness. For instance, starting over after being probably hospitalized for a long period of time, and you have to use all your resources, and you hit a financial wall. So it's like you have to start all over after getting better.
So the point.
How does having a serious illness, starting over, affects how does having a serious illness affects you if you decide to start over?
Well, coming out from any illness is never easy. That's thing so people don't cater for in life because you are born, you're growing up, you all feel healthy. Sickness is not something that you already ponder upon or expect it to hit you. You know sickness could come about, but you know, one don't plan to get sick. Sickness is just something that just happen, right? And yeah, some people are from come from sickness. They never really get over or recover from it. Really and truly. Let's take for example maybe a stroke, mild stroke. You know, I know people that got mild stroke and they never come back the natural self that you had once known them to be.
Right.
You understand? So that again in itself, it will be a serious challenge. Obviously, it will be a serious challenge. And you know, to one start to accumulate based on what you spend. But it's health.
Yeah.
Health takes priority over almost everything. When your health is being affected, because remember, you cannot achieve nothing if you don't have good health.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to give it priority. Right? It's not something where you have a choice.
Okay. So let us look at the last scenario where living overseas and starting over. So you live overseas for a number of years and Trump reports you. So you have to come back and start over. That one is a habit.
You're truly not something that will bother the mind of other people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That I can see in some instances might be extremely difficult, especially if you are not maintaining a certain relationship back home
right.
with your relatives, your friends, you know. So in other words, you went abroad and you never look back, right? Yeah. And you have to come. It's like you're in a strange land. Just find yourself when you first left, you have to go over there. You're in a strange land and you have to try and
make it right.
It's actually it's doing us now. It's just that you're coming back home and having to the same way in your own land.
For instance, somebody that has been deported too.
Yeah.
A scenario where they really have to start over because they're coming back with nothing, practically nothing.
Practically not nothing. Whereas they say again, something you have to check on the age of that person.
Right? Yeah.
Imagine that happening to, let's say, a 65-year-old. You know?
Yeah.
How do you deal with this?
Yeah. So, good one.
Sure.
So, some of the reasons why we might be struggling to start over can include feeling afraid of change. And letting go means saying goodbye to parts of your life that have become part of your story and identity. The uncertainty this creates is uncomfortable. So it's natural to feel resistance. This can be particularly difficult if you need to break away from things, people, or habits that have been part of your life for many years.
Yes. So I fully understand that.
Right? This one is it's a bit it's straightforward.
Because I tell you, the last time I was talking to two ladies, very mature ladies, and as they claim they are not in any serious relationship, with a male companion. And some of the things that they were pointing out, it's like if you have to go into that relationship now, the questions will be coming, where are you going, and all sort of questions will have to be coming away, which they don't have to answer to
Anybody?
at that stage in their life now based on how they live. You understand? So you see what is happening there. That in itself is a deterrent of them wanting to get into any relationship with another companion. For that fear, they don't want. They see that as that might make their life become very uncomfortable, right? When they're ready to go, they dress, they take off, they put the TV, and they step out the door. Whenever they feel like, even if they go somewhere, they bus at night, they could call a taxi or somebody that take us to drop them back home. That's simple. So these ladies and them, I don't know how that mindset will change. They have that, and it's like a fear in them, that alone in itself. Make them not wanting to get into a serious relationship with a man.
Fear of change.
Yeah. Because they've been living their lives so for a while. And that fear of having to come and now get into a serious relationship, and they believe that sort of way of how they live their life to enjoy, well, it might no longer be. Or it might be with some form of problem, some form of stress. And they might have to get into the arguments now, and the quarrels. So,
so this is our mental health program, Take 5. Our topic today, starting over and how it affects your mental health. The number to call is 404 1189 1189 404 1189. Call to make your contribution.
I would love to hear somebody like Coffee calling in on that. I guess we're as much as Coffee welcome. Let's see this.
Jester, based on your comment, somebody saying these are women right after their hearts.
These are women
right after their hearts.
Those are what I should
Yes. And the women
so
yes.
you could tell us that woman wouldn't that one look as a free singer and this is
So the number to call is 404-1189. So some people, they fear being stuck in the stage of grief. And psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross created the widely shared theory of the 5 stages of grief and loss. And these stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So the 5 stages of grief and loss are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And while you can start moving forward at any stage, it is important to understand where you are in this process and how you might be impacting your progress.
And that's true. And if you realize you have acceptance last,
Right. And
what is the most important in my belief? Because so for example, I know of guys that they had a problem. They had turned alcoholics. But if you're turn alcoholic, for you to get yourself back to where you once were, that will depend on you. You have to take the initiative. And I know these two guys, they themselves took the initiative and went into Carlton House. Nobody did not bring them there. So that's what I'm talking about. They accepted to themselves that they have a problem. Once you do that, once you're not in denial of it and you accept, then you will get the sort of help that you ought to get.
Okay, so let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418.
For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all the grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Dolphin and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Friends, we want to welcome you back to our program. The mental health show is on this Tuesday, Tuesday being the 22nd of July 2025. And the topic we are looking at today is starting over again.
Starting over and how it affects your mental health.
Of course, affect people mental health, yeah.
So having low self-efficacy is and self-efficacy is the belief that you have the capacity to achieve your goals. People with lower levels of self-efficacy are more likely to focus on failure than success. And people with higher levels of efficacy. Good morning.
Okay, that will be my final thought. But let me say this. You spoke about bargaining and everything in a relationship. But let me ask you a question. If you are in a relationship where everything is working fine, why would you end that relationship? And it talks about the stages of grief, like bargaining, depression, acceptance. Now, when I looked at the, the meaning of bargaining in a relationship, it says that bargaining in a relationship, particularly during a breakup, is a stage where one tries to negotiate or compromise to avoid or undo the end of the relationship. Now, my thing is, if you're in a relationship that is working, there shouldn't be a breakup. And if the relationship goes south, then there shouldn't be any means for reconciliation because it is not working in the first place. That's why you decide to go to Splitsville. So I don't, bargaining shouldn't be a part of the grief session because if you're bargaining, that means you are about to accept the things that you left for and going back into it. And that is only going to make the situation worse based on my opinion. That's why I look at it. That doesn't mean that everybody else see the way I see it. But I'm thinking that why would you bargain for something that is not there in the first place? And you bargaining your life back into that relationship that is not working the first time. So why bargain to go back into something that you didn't like, something that you left or he left? That means it wasn't working. So I don't know if bargaining is something that we should look at. I wouldn't bargain. If I leave a bad situation, why would I bargain to go back and I'm asking for the person to treat me like a dog? Make me feel as though I have no self-confidence, make me feel as though I'm not worth the relationship that we have. So in that case, no bargain, goodbye, bye-bye, ciao, see you later, hasta la vista, all of it. So,
No, don't not just thing like that and just run. You know, one is that
I'm listening to you.
there's an opportunity now. Like if something was causing a problem, okay? And what usually happens, then the man feel right, the man feel right. Understand? But that will now give an opportunity to put the cards on the table. And as a result, both of you all can now meet each other halfway. And maybe that might involve a compromise so as to maybe 95% satisfy each other's case in there. Maybe that's what it means.
Can I rebut?
Oh, yes, you can write that report.
Okay. So the thing is, how do you know that we have not been through that? Put the cards on the table, play the diamond, the ace, the spades, the jack, the everything. All the cards were on the table. It is not working, and that's when it came to the final part of going your separate way. So yes, the relationship that can work if the person make a hasty decision and say, I had it, that's it, I'm finished and I'm going about. There should be reconciliation and there should be bargaining. But you don't know if we went through all of that already the talking to the cards on the table, this help, everything. And then you reach a peak, the last straw that broke the camel back. And you said, I had enough of this, I am going. So there's no bargaining anymore.
So I'm gonna work, okay, so you're one student.
I didn't go through that. Just saying that's what happened.
Oh, I was I'm like, so I'm just saying.
What? Yeah. Based on what we said, the bargaining is fixed reconciled to our relationship. Agree. But this is what I'm saying. You have done all of that. You did all. You went through all of the talking to, the counseling, the whatever, and it still doesn't work. Because let me tell you, there are people that go into counseling. They never tell the truth about anything, and they come out making you feel like okay, they have changed, and you go back into the same situation and even worse. So in that case, you just say, I had enough of this. Let me go my way and hasta la vista. End of story. There's no bargaining left.
Sure, but it doesn't always, it doesn't always be smooth like that.
No.
Uh,
So that's why if you find a way that you can reconcile and bargain, go for it. But I'm not a bargaining kind of girl.
I respect like somebody I've been tried out and have the experience, right? Like
What
that your
hasn't?
absolute your conviction is just well, I can say
Just so you can do, just so you can
Surrender to the surrender with both hands.
okay. But what I was gonna say, I'm when somebody speak like that. I was like this.
Okay, let me go back. You spoke about the women that said that the type of the life that they have now, the age that they're at now, they don't want anybody to tell them
Yeah.
where to go and when they're coming back and all this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
These
true.
are women that been through situations and they say to themselves, you know what? I look up, I look down, I think about it, and I want to be by myself. I don't want anybody telling me anything. So look at it as that same situation where the cards were on the table, you did everything that you want to do, and then you just stage in life where now you don't want to do that anymore, so you leave. No bargaining, and you don't bargain for anything. As a matter, you don't bargain on garbage. Bargain on something that you can work with.
Yeah, but you see what I was about me, right? Sometimes it's just Peter others people for Paul in this case. Then there might be somebody that really genuine and have really good intentions, but then because you have that sort of position in you and you take that hard and fast and you decide, nah, that heart is locked. Like a piece of wire, so it's
This is a beautiful thing. Let me tell you, flying solo is a beautiful thing. You see, Jester, me flying solo now, I could have just booked my ticket and say I'm going back to Toronto, and I did. Nobody asked me a question as to why you're going back to Toronto now and all this kind of thing. That's not solo.
not selfish. That's one selfish kind of way.
Somebody commented and said, why bargain to get hot again?
You will get hurt. You don't know.
What you are? Of course you are. Because you tell me, they say you cannot change a penny. If the penny bad, the penny bad.
So you don't believe some people, you don't believe some people do make you change?
They compromise.
You don't believe that? There are people who
They
have
don't change just for the compromise. They hide it on the.
People can change if they really want to, but most of us do not want to change. We just stay the way we are. And the other person in the relationship that has to pay for what you're not changing. Sometimes some of us have to hit rock bottom to see that what you're doing is not working, and then they make the change. But on normal basis, no.
But somebody wants is really into it, like they don't really change. I don't think they change. They just make a compromise and let people see like a different side to an extent, and then like gradually they move back into the old person they were.
Let me tell you, I like you, You're good for yesterday. I like you. Goodbye. Somebody else may want to make a call back.
Well, counseling is not something I believe in too much. I'll tell you why. If things are not going well in a relationship, you could take the best counselor from each and every corner of this world and bring them. If it does not depend on the two individual only and solely to make the change, no matter who you bring, no matter what profession.
I don't think that
Just and I see people try that already. They are going to counseling and still in the end they have to go to separate.
that because it wasn't entirely truthful.
just not working.
So somebody's saying people don't change, they just cover up their problems for a while until it surfaces again.
I bet you don't want to saying like that.
No comments. Back to the end.
You see, who pushing the question I think will be like God, the man that's in that door. It's just like us.
Okay. So, okay, so back to self-efficacy. Self, we did self-efficacy is the belief that you have the capacity to achieve your goal, but people with lower levels of self-efficacy are more likely to focus on failure than success, and the people with higher levels of efficacy are more likely to cope in adverse situations. It's these findings that help explain why self-efficacy plays an essential role when starting over. Just start finding the time to back up here.
Right?
Finding the time to back up.
Yeah, I don't know. You always want this. Read it or not? Yeah, showing it on the right way.
Somebody says speak a book.
Yeah, I mean, just be realistic. I mean, serious. There are examples of the lawyer that I see happening in the past. That is why I can make my judgment here. So it's not just I just seeing that because I feel like seeing that.
So experiencing unmanaged mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, there are common barriers to change. And depression can impact motivation, decision making abilities, and create feelings of hopelessness. Anxiety can cause uncontrollable fear and a loss of confidence. When left unmanaged, these conditions can keep you stuck in your current situation and make it nearly impossible to make positive changes in, right? So we need to deal with our mental health issues, depression. But speak to somebody,
Yes, that's always
right?
that's always the city with what is best that we can advise our listeners and viewers out there whenever you're going through some form of depression, you know.
Yeah.
Speak to somebody confidentially, somebody that is a confidential person, not just anybody to, you know,
Right.
to think what you're going through and put it out there and make you feel so belittled after. No, you don't just take any and anybody.
There's like a double dose.
Yes, that would be even worse.
Double dose of
But that is what will actually send you in the crazy as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially when you compare with somebody you trust and then that person has betrayed you. Betrayal is a big thing, eh?
Yeah.
So, can just say the person wants silence you really. They say you speak about Jester, we have to be honest with you to go to therapy.
Yeah.
So, how to break through the overwhelm and move forward? How do we move forward?
How do we move forward? Yeah. That's a very interesting question from all these things and you know.
Yes, how do we move forward?
We start having to start over again.
All right. So now you know that why starting over is hard. What can you do to change?
You see, I believe there are some people that started over here and they made it.
Yeah.
They made it. And the thing is now is what will motivate you, right? To get that sort of desired result you're looking for, that result of success.
Right.
Something in the back of the mind do motivate some people and maybe in the same relationship that went to the dogs,
Yeah.
you know, and realizing how the person maybe used to treat you, that might be a motivational factor behind. You might say, yeah, you know, she used to do that or he used to do that. I'm going to show him that I can go on doing. And they are a different, you might say, a different approach, a different mindset. A person, um, they stamina losses, they had some form of re-inspection of themselves and critically analyze the situation and decide, you know what, I was hurting them. Now it's time for me to pick up and fly right. And yeah, they a whole different approach. And they come up that happened in life too. See, it happened too.
I comment when said when we spoke about speaking to somebody, said this is where the problem is again. There are no confidential people out there. Even the therapists are not confidential.
Look at that.
Right? And somebody said it depends on the situation. It is better to give up than try. And that's another comment. Somebody said, saying based on the situation, it is better to give up than try. No.
No, you see, I know that person feeling there. And sometimes when you hear certain comments, you wonder. Usually, what I realize is people that might have been in such a situation. You see these comments,
right.
Someone reflects on what probably have been true.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. One of the worst thing to do
is to give up.
Is to, no, not before you reach there, is to betray somebody's confidence.
Right, yeah.
That is not something I think like. Now, when you see me, I do move around, and there are a lot of people, if you realize, people, I know a guy who was going through a relationship, and because he knew me as a older person than he is, based on what he was going through, he started to call upon me to and learning out what he was going through, you know. And when I realized what he was going through, my heart just dropped. But I did give him the best of advice. You think I will take it and won't tell anybody? No, that's not happening. No, that's not happening. And that you never heard that from no other person.
Because it takes a lot for somebody to confide.
I'm telling you.
It takes a lot.
For somebody to see you, it's not an easy thing for somebody to put that trust in. Right. First and foremost. Yeah. To just call you outside and hold the problems with you, right? Expecting for you to guide them along, give them the best advice, right? And then you in turn will take it and want them to talk Dick and Harry. Yeah. That's not happening. That's not happening. No, not with this guy.
Yeah. So, what can you do to change? We turn to tried and tested strategies from the field of psychology to best help set you up for success. So first, check your mindset. Having the right mindset is a critical step when starting over. Check what thoughts you have about your current life situation and where you want to go next. Have you accepted that change may be hard but worth it? Are you aware of any self-limiting beliefs holding you back? Do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? If you need to change your mindset, you can try proven techniques such as practicing gratitude, challenging negative thoughts, and reframing unhelpful beliefs. And here's a tip. When you have an unhelpful thought, ask yourself, is this how I would speak to a friend or a loved one? If the answer is no, it's time to change the script.
Okay.
Right? So we need to, the first thing, our thoughts. So it starts in the mind.
Well, of course.
Right?
Of course.
Then we need to set clear goals that matter. And goals can serve as important goalposts that help you intentional. It can help you be intentional
with your daily actions and create changes you want in your life. And because change is hard, it requires persistent efforts. Your goals need to align with things that matter to you. Goals that don't align with your values can leave you feeling unmotivated and stuck. And the tip is, are your goals aligned with what you truly want, or are they based on what you think is expected of you?
Better ask that again, huh?
So you need to consider your passions, your interests, and strengths. Then choose goals around them for your best chance of success. You need to visualize your future. And starting over and changing aspects of your life takes time and consistency. Along the way, you will have moments where you feel challenged and tempted to fall back into old habits and patterns. And to help you stay on course, it can help to imagine your future and how future, to help you stay on course, it can help to imagine your future and how future you would act. Making decisions based on making decisions based on what future you would do can help you delay instant gratification and keep you focused on long term. So the tip is, a vision board can be a great way to keep focused on your goals. And seeing a visual representation of your goals can help you imagine your future, remind you of what is important, and help you avoid temptations along the way.
Kind of lose track of you there a little bit because my hand or something. But let's go back to most of the time in life, right? For someone to bounce back and enjoying more or greater success, and if at all at some point in time they wasn't having a success at all, and they decide they want to do something different to it, it must involve, most of the time it involves living off some old way of how we used to be doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, if you have a goal of wanting to save more money and for a year, you probably might, and you used to be on the block and you're making how much wrong with drinks, you probably might have to give up that because you used to be spending so much having to buy your own drink for different men on the block. Some action, some drastic action usually takes place for you to achieve more and do things that are much more positive. Usually that's what happens.
Yeah. So we need to focus on small steps for big results. So we take small steps. And having a big gap between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow can be paralyzing. And it's why knowing where you want to go, but focusing on the task ahead of you can be so powerful. So small steps taken in the right direction consistently over time can lead to big results.
Okay.
And this is because small steps are manageable. So you are more likely to stick to them and build on that momentum. The tip is to break down your goals into smaller, manageable chunks. When you are feeling overwhelmed or times are tough, focus on that one small next step to keep moving forward. Right? And we have a comment here saying, when starting over, one needs to focus on what they can control, which is exactly what I just said. Let go of what's out of their hands. They need to be able to control the effort, not the outcome.
That is true because and all that has to do with the point I just make a while ago.
Right.
Once you want to attain kind of success that you're looking forward to, you won't be doing things different. And they just say it in different words there. That's
Right.
exactly what it means.
They have to be able to embrace flexibility, stay open to unexpected opportunities or changes in plans. Good comments, very great comments.
Yeah. That person is on point.
And it's a woman. So how does
Why were you put on Why were you put on something I asked you to go man again? All right. No. So okay, we'll try to talk to you well.
surround yourself with the right influences? That is a big one.
Yes.
Take a look at the environment around you, the people you spend time with, and the media you consume. And the media you consume all feed into your attitude. So let me take that again. Take a look when looking at surround yourself with the right influences. Okay?
Well, of course,
So
the
take-
more people and them yourself are saying birds of one feather flock
Right.
together.
So take a look at the environment around you, the people you spend time with, and the media you consume all feed into your attitude. When you talk about media, maybe talk about social media and whatever, and the portals or platforms where you get your information from.
Yes.
Focus your attention on people who are doing what you aspire to do.
Exactly.
Spend time with like-minded people and be selective about what you read, watch, and listen to. And the tip is curate your sources of inspiration. Seek out books, podcasts, and social media accounts that inspire you. Unfollow accounts that can distract you from your goals and leave you feeling negative.
Yes. They have that. They get it really right in this, that sort of analysis of the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us look at some positive impacts of starting over. Starting over gives a sense of renewal and opportunity. And starting over can feel liberating, like a chance to shed out old habits, pursue new passions, and create a life more aligned with your current goals and values.
That's obvious. I mean, I think they could not have put it in a better way. They really could not have put it in a different way. You know what? I have failed in that regard. I am coming back with a bang. I'm coming with a different. I have a different mindset, and I'm going for it.
Right. Yeah. So the number to call is 404-1189. Call to make a contribution. We look forward to your calls and comments. Another comment here is saying the most important thing is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself kindly, especially when you get setbacks. Another positive impact is increased motivation and self-belief. The anticipation of a fresh start can boost motivation and inspire you to reminding you of your potential for growth and change. Another positive impact is for personal growth and resilience. So overcoming the challenges of starting over can build resilience and make a stronger sense of self-efficacy. So we have a call. Let us take that call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Roy, and good morning, Jester.
Good morning.
Today.
Good morning to you.
Okay. Once again, another good topic, especially on this one of now making changes to your life.
Yes.
And I think in order to change, you first have to work up the courage and to be committed to the change. It's not something you just, get up and say, okay, I'm going to make this change and it's going to happen. Because it takes courage, bravery, and self awareness. And you have to have a level of intentionality to it. You have to know what steps to take. So it means that you have to know your values and your goals. And it's a big mindset change. So instead of thinking of it as like starting over, you can think of it as making a fresh start. Because now you get to shape your new life. But along that, you'll have to have positive self-talk and encouragement in that you have to do that to yourself. You have to be encouraging yourself on the way. Because once you make that change, you're in charge of your life now. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be in control of everything, but where things that you can be in control of, you can lead it into a positive direction. Right. So I know for me, I had to make a big change almost 17 years ago, and I never regretted that change. But it did not come time, and I came to the realization that I have to make this change. And it's a change that I never regretted. But there's such times when you can make changes and you regret. So that's why I think it's something that you have to, before you jump into, you have to really think about it. Yes, analyze it, look at the pros and the cons. Am I going to be able to do this? What are the disadvantages? And then make up your mind. And once you make up your mind, don't look for like the discourage, dwell on the negative, dwell on the positive, and I think you will be fine. So another great topic. Have a good day.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So it is important that whenever you want to make decisions, you don't make decisions on impulse. Like something happens, oh, we are doing that.
Yeah.
You must take time off and make sober decision. You sit back on it, you well calm yourself, you cool yourself, have a sleep and a week on things, carefully analyze, as the caller was saying a while ago.
Yeah.
Think it over. Right? You analyze the situation critically. You weigh out all the pros and cons, dots, all the I's, cross all the T's, and before you make a decision. Because, as the caller said, there are some decisions that people made in the past that come back and they regretted it. So you don't want to make a decision that you live to regret. You understand? That is why carefully analyzing the situation will probably avoid you from making such a decision that you will probably live to regret.
Yeah. Let us look at some potential negative impacts of starting over. Anxiety and uncertainty. So, as we said, the unknown, the fear of the unknown. The unknown can be unsettling, and feelings of anxiety about the future, financial stability, or social connections are common. So we want to start over, and we don't know what the outcome will be or maybe. So it's like, it's obvious we are humans. The fear of uncertainty, anxiety plays a big role, a big part. Financial stability, wondering if I'm gonna, finance myself, if I go into this venture, will I be able to sustain myself? You know, let us take a culture break.
Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463. Or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Are you looking for that one local supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy SA Belfast and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, Hotel St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Bar. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
And we are back.
Well, I have a commentary from somebody has been following the program, and it says starting over is a mental. Oh, yeah, boy, I tell you when you're in an age, me fully next to eyes. Starting over is a mental and emotional reset that comes with burdens and rewards. What can shake your mental health temporarily, it also holds the power to transform you into a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. If you give yourself patience and care along the way. So that was the comment of one person that is following us. Very interesting comment. Yeah.
We have another one here, another comment here. It is very important for one to know who they are and what they are looking for. Get rid of all toxic things around you and find the things that make a difference in your life for positivity. So very, very, very interesting comments.
Well, of course, the subject is interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we said anxiety and uncertainty, the unknown can be unsettling. We don't know what is to come. And feelings of anxiety about the future, financial stability, or financial connections are common. Grief and loss, that's another negative impact of starting over. Starting over often involves letting go of the past, which can trigger feelings of grief for what was lost, whether it's a relationship, a job, or a familiar environment. Self-doubt and overwhelm, another negative impact. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of changes and decisions involved in starting over, which can lead to self-doubt and a sense of being lost. Social isolation. Adjusting to a new environment can be isolating, especially if you are leaving behind a strong support network. So moving into a new environment, you have to start over. It's like you have to build from scratch. You have to put your trust in neighbors, in people around you, especially when you move to a new environment.
Yes, you have to build friendship.
Right. And it could be isolating.
Yeah.
You feel like you're all alone. Or even when you move to a new country.
But then again, it's different cultures of different nations. So when you find yourself in the international community, not much neighbors, people usually know some of the privacy. Oh, unlike how we operate here, like we operate here. And then it's a different thing. That's not how we know it, you know. But when you're in some of these countries in the international community, it's like a dog-eat-dog situation. Who cares? Sometimes you're in a building, you're in an apartment.
You never know who's
and then-
neighbor.
Exactly. You're in campus. Yeah.
So let us now look at some coping strategies. Coping strategies to starting over. We must acknowledge and process our emotions. Don't try to suppress or ignore negative feelings. Allow yourself to grieve the past and acknowledge the challenges of starting over.
I think that's important, you know. That's the way how we tend to rise above what is bothering you.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Starting over, it affects you mentally. We need to really, some people tend to hide a lot. They're going through and kind of guilty of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, somebody might see you and they will ask, you okay? And yeah, I'm all right.
That's Grenadians generally for you. They will be dying, but they'll say,
I'm okay, yes. I'm okay. And it's like you have so much inside, So don't try to suppress or ignore negative feelings. Allow yourself to grieve the past and acknowledge the challenges of starting over.
That's why in some instances when people do lose their loved ones and some think that they've been brave by not crying. But I always advise them, if you have to cry. If you have to bawl. You understand? Don't try to hold back this thing because
and nobody really knows how you feel.
Exactly.
Nobody really knows because sometimes the connection you have with that person, they didn't understand. They won't understand.
Yes. But I also understand in the case of losing a loved one, sometimes the real impact comes on you at a different stage. In some instances, it happens to the person the meantime the person take their last breath. All right. In some other instances, it might happen if you have what you call a praise. That's where Some family members really show off their emotions. Some again is on the day of the funeral. Some is even after. Right. So them long after when the harsh reality when it hits you and realize that person is no longer
There.
alone and doing the things that you all used to be doing together. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Develop a structure. So we need to develop a routine and structure. Establishing a daily routine can provide a sense of stability and control during a period of significant change. Seek support. We kind of touch on it a bit. Trusted friend, family member, or a therapist about your experience and feelings. Practice self-care. Well, that one usually pops up. I think the amount of topics that we have dealt with here already from since we started, ever since we started that program, this should all come, this self-care. Right. Maybe Claire could call and confirm. Self-care, she loves to be talk about that, right? That's how prioritize activities that promotes well-being, such as exercise, healthy eating, and mindfulness. Take care of yourself. Yes, she always say that. She always proclaims. Yes, take care of yourself first. Yeah. Set realistic goals. Start with small, achievable goals to build momentum and confidence. Focus on the present. While acknowledging the past is important, try to stay grounded in the present and focus on building your new life. Reframe negative thoughts. Challenge negative self-talk and replace it with more positive and empowering affirmations. I am strong. I can do this. Yes. Yes. Right? I can make it. Replace it with negative. Replace this positive affirmation self-talks. Be patient and kind to yourself. Starting over takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Starting over takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress. That's a big deal. You reach us, you accomplish a phase. Celebrate yourself. Do something for yourself. Because some people tend to celebrate in different ways, you know. Some people like me, I like to just maybe sign myself and look up to the heavens. Let's focus on the Almighty. Because I believe without his efforts, you know, nothing will happen. Some other people might want to bring a couple bottle of drinks around and surpass. People do differently. Yeah. Yes. So starting over. Instead of making a resolution, which most of us aren't all that great at keeping, why not look for some areas in your life where you'd like to begin anew? Especially when the year end, and we like New Year resolution, I doing this and I doing that. No, I want fresh and I doing this. I don't usually do that thing. Right? So here they're saying that look for some areas in your life where you would like to begin anew. And here a little easier and your new year a little more emotionally fit. So what? Starting over from a failure, it is a new beginning. This mindset keeps you from wasting your time being too hard on yourself. Moving through
life is like climbing stairs. You go up a level and then you level off. Nothing is ever a straight shot. Have some patience with yourself and with your newfound direction. This new year is also a new decade. It could also be a new life if you approach it in the new ways. Little ideas can turn into try writing a letter to the editor, or if you need to, make the choice to drink a little less alcohol. So it's up to you, the decision is yours. Endings are not necessarily bad things. Even if the past year was your best, one ahead might be just the one ahead might just leave it in the dust. So it might even be better. This is also true if it's been your worst year so far and you suddenly found yourself unemployed or unattached. Starting over, that it is really a cause for celebration. Think of it as exciting, and many of your anxious feelings will begin to fade. Remember that your future is not governed by your past. No matter what has happened in your life, you can find a way to make things a little better for yourself and hopefully those around you as well. Having to start over is different from choosing to start over. For those whose lives are still in chaos because of man-made and natural disasters, starting over is not a choice. That's true. Hurricane, floods, you have to start over, you have to start over, you have a choice.
But is it because of man-made?
Man-made and natural disasters.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's all man-made, you get fire also.
Yeah.
Right? Giving support to those in need and being able to accept it when necessary are great qualities. Healthy alternatives to negative lifestyle patterns abound. Take baby steps if you don't feel comfortable making all your changes on January 1st. If you if you can't stop a bad habit, start by cutting back. It's okay to give yourself a little time to moderate or stop something that's hurting you. It is not all about job. What about taking a dance class to get in shape and have fun at the same time? Starting over can mean chasing your dreams. We're happiest when we're moving forward to a goal. Starting over is about giving yourself a chance at real happiness. You will have to be brave and get good at learning new things. But how bad can this be? At the very worst, you will acquire the skills you need to start on the next project. The new year is a great time to start over. Remember that once you honestly commit to the changes, you have already begun the process.
Yes, and that will come to the end.
We have a comment here. Sometimes the persons ask that you would not be. Sometimes the person be any help to you. So to cut a long story, you stay good. You say you're good. So what the person is saying is, like sometimes when somebody asks you if okay,
yes.
to cut a long story short, you say okay.
Yeah, so you just is a way of just pacifying it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
That.
So we've come to the end of another program for today, for this week, Tuesday, 22nd July. We say thank you to our commenters, our listeners, everyone who joined in. Thanks for the calls and so forth. Do enjoy the rest of the week, and we look forward to our next program next Tuesday. Take 5 program.
Well, let me just take on my own accord to say thank you so very much to our listeners and viewers of this Real Take 5 program, this mental health show. Of course, look to edify, we want to impact you in a positive way. And then we come to the end of today's program. Once again, my name is Jester, sitting alongside Royal Charles. It was indeed a pleasure, and so I say, I'm out of here and goodbye, folks. Until next week, Tuesday, God's will.
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take 5, you're in the zone. Voices come, hearts that care. Two good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your mind. Peace and hope you're sure to find. We'll take CJ and Jester. Talking truth and lifting pressure. Every Tuesday, 10 to noon, we're holding space just for you. Take a breath, take your time,